A very good evening to all, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Today is 16 December 2025, Tuesday class. So as usual, we'll be continuing our sharing from this book, the wonderful Dhamma Lotus Sutra. We are at page 794 of the hard copy. As usual, we gather for our physical puja. Let us gather. Let us compose our mind, develop the faith, saddha, virya, then mindfully we shall commence the puja chanting. Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛 Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛 Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛 Namo 观世音菩萨 Namo 观世音菩萨 Namo 观世音菩萨 Namo 阿弥陀佛 Namo 阿弥陀佛 Namo 阿弥陀佛 Namo 弥勒佛 Namo 弥勒佛 Namo 弥勒佛 Namo 药师佛 Namo 药师佛 Namo 药师佛 Namo 文殊菩萨 Namo 文殊菩萨 Namo 文殊菩萨 Namo 普贤菩萨 Namo 普贤菩萨 Namo 普贤菩萨 Namo 地藏王菩萨 Namo 地藏王菩萨 Namo 地藏王菩萨 Namo 准提菩萨 Namo 准提菩萨 准提菩萨 Namo 佛菩萨 Namo 佛菩萨 Namo 佛菩萨 Arahang Sama Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Buddhang saranang gacchami Dhammang saranang gacchami Sanghang saranang gacchami Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami Dutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami Tatiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami Tatiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami Panatipata Vairamani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Adina dana viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Kamesu miccacara viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Musawada viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Suramiraya Majapamadatana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Ganna Sarapatitena Dippena Tamadang Sina Tiloka Dipang Sambadang Pujayami Tamonodang Ganda Sambara Yutena Duppena Hang Sukang Hina Pujaye Pujaniyang Tang Puja Bhajana Muttamang Vanna Ganda Guno Petang Etang Kusuma Santatin Pujayami Munindasa Siri Pada Sarorohe Pujemi Bedang Maina Nena Punnena Matena Hotu Mokhang Pupang Milayati Yata Idang Me Kayo Tatayati Vinasa Bhavang Adivase Tuno Bante Paniyang Parika Pitang Anu Kampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Muttamang Adivase Tuno Bante Pale Parika Pitang Anu Kampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Muttamang Adivase Tuno Bante Bojanang Parika Pitang Anu Kampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Muttamang. Okay, now we will chant our Puja aspirations based on our understanding of the significance of all these Puja offerings. Significance of offering of light. May this offering of light to the Buddha brings forth the causes and conditions to illuminate our mind and help arise the needed clarity and understanding to dispel all darkness or ignorance therein. Significance of offering of water. May this offering of pure, clear, cool water lead us to the pure, clear Dhamma that cools and doses out the fires of all defilements within our mind. Significance of offering of incense. May our morality, virtue, and understanding shine forth far and wide, just like the fragrance of this incense, which we are offering to the Blessed One, who is perfect in wisdom and virtue. Significance of offering of fruits. May this offering of fruits remind us of the Dana Parami and the fruit of our karma, so that we will diligently strive on with heedfulness to attain the path and fruition soon as possible. Significance of offering of flowers. May this constant offering of flowers to the Blessed One strengthen our faith and constantly remind us of the impermanence of this body, so that we will diligently and sincerely strive on to cultivate Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, leading to ultimate liberation, the born-free Nibbana. Making of overall aspiration. By the power of all these merits born of these offerings, may our spiritual faculty of Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, and Panya be further strengthened until they become balas or powers, sharing and transfer merits to all beings. May these merits be shared and transferred to all beings without exception, especially to those who have the condition and affinity to receive them. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let us pay respect to Puja. Buddhang Pujayami. Dhammang Pujayami. Sanghang Pujayami. Just remember the four support. Relax body and mind. Don't try to know, don't try to do anything, so that your thought will not arise. Because the trying to know, the trying to do is always by the thought process. Even the subtle reminder to meditate. People usually don't understand how to develop the awareness-based meditation. They use the thought. That's why I end up thought-based. Awareness-based meditation is to develop the inner awareness without thinking. The moment you are without thought, the awareness is already there. But the problem with most people is they don't know this. So they thought the only instrument they have is thought. So to meditate, they must use the thought. That's why they often ask for method, technique, object of meditation, and at the same time, all the instruction to meditate. When you understand, the instruction is just to brief you on what to do. The actual meditation is to be developed through an understanding. So like the word say, awareness-based meditation means we must have the inner awareness, stabilize it to be ever mindful. Then only we use that mind to meditate, leading to heedfulness. So the four support that I teach you is very useful. Relax body and mind so that you don't think. Then maintaining awareness is to maintain the alert mind. The mind that is just aware before the knowing, before the arising of thought. Just maintain that. It's not easy, but if you can do it, you will progress very fast. Then after that, stabilize the inner awareness. Try to be in that state for as long as you can. Then after you have done the first three, when you are able to silence your mind completely until there is no thought, then this mind is already like trained. When you are able to be without thought, the mind is stable, means your sati has stabilized. It has become ever mindful. And that mind is the meditative mind. That is your true mind. So awareness-based meditation is to develop the understanding to arise that mind, which is your pure awareness nature within. And that is your true mind, which is also the mind that can insight into phenomena, see things as they are, to realize the wisdom. That's why without awareness or sati, you cannot develop the heedfulness. But to be heedful, you must train the mind to be aware, mindful, and stabilize it to be ever mindful. Then use it to meditate, as defined by Dhammapada verse 23. The ever mindful and constantly meditative will realize the supreme born-free Nibbana. Then the fourth support only needed if you want to go the Bodhisattva way and develop deeper understanding of our pure inner nature, the inherent nature within. Some call it our potential Buddha nature, some call it our original nature, Ban Lai the Mian Mo, or the oneness nature, or the source, or whatever. The name is not important. Then, like I have taught you before, you can also approach it from whatever skillful means or method technique that you have learned, but avoid verbalizing, avoid creating thought-based meditation. And to avoid that, you have to develop the understanding that whatever you do is to develop awareness first. So whatever object of meditation, don't go and focus and concentrate. If you do that, you will go and develop energy, fear and jhana. But if you just develop the mindfulness of it, like anapanasati, mindfulness of the in and out breath, then it's okay. Then when you contemplate whatever, for how or what, mindful of the Buddha's name, or mindful of whatever chanting, you just recite and develop the awareness of it, and then it's okay. Or whatever mind sweeping method, to develop the stability of mindfulness, to train the mind so that it can be at the location you want it to be, then learn to relax, maintain awareness, then combine with metta also can. You radiate metta, loving kindness. May I, this body and mind of mine, be well and happy, well and happy. Feel the well-being and happiness within you, so that it will calm you down. Then you can visualize yourself facing a mirror, radiating a radiant smile. When you can smile, your mind is at ease, relaxed. Definitely no tension, no stress, nothing. Otherwise, you cannot smile if you have problem and stress. So these are all the various skillful means. But you can actually skip them if you want to. But some of you are familiar with that skillful mean, and you have been doing it for so long. It's of no harm if you use it to develop the initial mindfulness. Then when it's stabilized, the mind will enter sati. Finally, whatever you do, your awareness will stabilize. Then you will experience piti, sukhang. Then the mind becomes tranquil, quiet and still. When it's tranquil, quiet and still, like your object of meditation has become very subtle, like your breathing, your rising, falling, or whatever object of meditation has become very subtle, then don't go and do anything. Just silence everything and stay with the object of meditation and maintain awareness, like our third support. The second and third support, maintain awareness, stabilize the awareness that you are maintaining. Then the mind will enter sati. When mind enters sati, everything you do is in sati. Then only you can be ever mindful, even in the midst of life. And that is the stability of mindfulness that one must develop for real progress. That sati is very important. Okay, with that, I will let you meditate on your own. I will set the alarm for 30 minutes. Mindfully come out of the meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, and inner mindfulness or awareness that you have developed for as long as you can. Okay, now we turn to page 6 of the chanting book. You will do the invocation to the Devas. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in the entirety, let the deities and Devas come here. let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sage, which gives happiness and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakavalesu Atra Kachan Tu Devata Saddhammang Muni Rajasa Sunantu Sakamokada Dhamma Svanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Svanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Svanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Iti Peso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vijacharana Sampanno Sugato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisa Dhammasarati Satta Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Kaliko Ehipasiko Opanayiko Pachyatang Veditabo Vinohiti Supatipano Bhagavato Sangho Ujupatipano Bhagavato Sangho Nyayapatipano Bhagavato Sangho Samicipatipano Bhagavato Sangho Yadidang Chattari Purisa Yogani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anuttarang Punyang Ketang Lokasati Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Okay, you all can be seated. Then we will continue from where we stopped. We are at page 794. So we are at the fourth vows. The four basic vows of a Bodhisattva. We have finished the first three. The first vow is the one that walked the path, the Bodhisattva. Vows to take across the limitless living beings of the three period of time to the other shore, so that they may too gain salvation, at least the realization of Nibbana, leading to freedom from birth and death. Then after that, they may continue to develop the cultivation to further their understanding, to complete the Bodhisattva way leading to Sammasambuddhahood. Then the second vow is they vow to endure and severe all sufferings, the limitless suffering. So ability to endure and severe suffering need wisdom. So when you have that vow, you determine to fulfill that vow. We are cultivating all the understanding that leads to your ability to fulfill that vow. Then the third one is you vow to cultivate the limitless Dhamma, leading to the perfection of wisdom, so that you can do this work with ease. Then this fourth vow is the Buddhahood is unsurpassed. I vow to realize it, means you vow to perfect the 10th perfection, leading to the fulfillment of Sammasambuddhahood. So in this world, there is nothing higher than the realization of Sammasambuddhahood. Becoming a Buddha is the most honorable accomplishment, both in and beyond this world. Therefore the Buddha, the world-honored one, is the most honored, both within and beyond the world. Buddhahood is the ultimate refuge and final accomplishment. Before becoming a Buddha, one is simply a deluded and confused living being in the 9 rhymes, or 9 Dhamma rhymes. So here, Dhamma rhyme means the Mahayana way of including the enlightened beings that are that takes the Bodhisattva way to come back, and some are the sound hearer and the Pacceka Buddha. So these are the other rhymes which are not included in the 31 plane of existence. So the 31 plane of existence are included in the first 6 rhymes. And these 6 rhymes, they are our 4 willful states, which is the hell rhyme, then the beta rhyme, the animal rhymes, then the demon rhymes. Then after that is our human rhyme, Manusa. The human rhyme is the 5th rhyme. Then they call it the 6th Deva rhymes. These Deva rhymes, the Mahayana call it the heavenly rhyme, Tian Fa Jie. And this includes not only the 6 Deva rhymes, the 16 Brahma rhyme, plus the 4 formless rhyme. They are included. But beyond this is the rhyme of the sound hearer. Sound hearer are the sainthood way cultivator who develop the sainthood enlightenment. They develop the awakening until they can realize the first stage of sainthood, which is Sotapanna shape, leading to Sakadagami shape, the second stage of sainthood, then Anagami shape, then leading to Arhanta shape. That is the 7th rhyme. Then they have the 8th rhyme, the rhyme of Pacceka Buddhas. They call it, there is a name, silent Buddha. The Pacceka Buddha is also a Buddha, but not a Sammasambuddha. And they call it silent Buddha or solitary Buddha is because some interpret it as they cannot teach. It's not really so that they cannot teach. They can teach up to their understanding, but they don't have a sasana, not like a Sammasambuddha. And they have not perfected themselves. That's why they are still not really that you need a teacher. Then the ninth rhyme is the rhyme of the Bodhisattvas. Those who take the Bodhisattva way cultivation, leading to Sammasambuddhahood, before they become Sammasambuddhahood, before they complete the 10 perfection, they are termed as the Bodhisattvas. Then they also, within this Bodhisattva rhyme, they have the Mahasattva and all those things, the great beings rhyme. So the Bodhisattvas and the great beings rhyme, they are the ninth rhyme. Then after that, when you fulfill the cultivation of the 10 perfection, you become Sammasambuddha. Then they classify them as the 10 Dhamma rhyme, which is the rhyme of the Buddhas, the Sammasambuddhas. Then you must not confuse that all this rhyme, they only have this type of beings there. No, not necessary. Like our human rhyme. You also have animals within our human rhyme. You also have petas within our human rhyme. You also have actually the hell rhyme within our human rhyme. Then the bulk of it is human beings. But there are also a lot of demons and non-humans too. Then there are also Devas within our human rhyme. Then above the Devas is supposed to be Brahma rhyme. But for those who cultivate on our planet or the human rhyme, like human beings, you can also realize what they call enlightenment, then to become sound hearer, Senven, means the Aryas, we call it the provisional teachings cultivation or the sainthood way, to become Aryas. Then you can also become Bodhisattva and decide to come back as human being. That's why you also have Bodhisattvas within the human rhyme. Then like 2,600 years ago, when Sakyamuni Buddha was born, and when he connected and became a Sammasambuddha underneath the Wohi tree, he is also a Sammasambuddha manifested in the human rhyme. So all this you have to understand. The 10 Dhamma rhymes are just classification, but they can be anywhere actually, and mixture of them. Okay, we continue. That's why there just now they try to explain to you before becoming a Sammasambuddha. One is just simply deluded, confused living beings within the 9 Dhamma rhymes. After becoming a Buddha, one is completely clear without any confusion. This is why we vow, Buddhahood is unsurpassed. I vow to realize it. So this word, unsurpassed, is actually a very unique understanding of the Buddhist fraternity within the Buddhist community, because to realize Sammasambuddhahood is not an easy thing, and it is supposed to be the unsurpassed realization, is because that is the pinnacle of cultivation that is possible. When you realize Sammasambuddhahood, means you actually realize the complete understanding of life, creation, existence. That's why this cultivation, the perfection of that cultivation to become a Sammasambuddha, means you finally not only realize enlightenment, which is Nibbana, but you cultivate and develop the complete understanding, so that you are perfect in all the cultivation of all the 10 perfections, leading to Sammasambuddhahood, where they say you are the all-knowing. Means whatever you want to know within the 3 periods of time, past, present, and future, that is possible to know, you can know. And that comes from that perfection, which is very unique. Then the realization also, not only like you realize enlightenment cease. As a Sammasambuddha, you have developed what they call the highest wisdom, complete wisdom. And you are the most virtuous and the most wise living being ever born. Then the enlightenment or the realization of enlightenment, he has also perfected it until he is complete. He is not only enlightened, he is fully enlightened, means complete in all that possibility of realization. That makes him very unique. But the way living beings look at things is different. Because for us, like this civilization, different people has different goal or aim in their life. And they think to have wealth, to have knowledge, to have a lot of power is what they feel the highest. But when you fail to understand the understanding, I don't want to use the word concept, is because the understanding of this cultivation of Sammasambuddhahood is, you can never fathom what that thing is until you have gone into the spiritual field and developed the cultivation. Because once you understand that, from that understanding, you can understand all things. You can develop whatever interest you want, especially the Bodhisattva way. You can even come and try whatever possibility of civilization, engagement with the existential world, and the unending possibility of all this evolution of civilization, consciousness, and the manifestation of life and existence within the whole universe, which is very, very immense, can also be understood and perfected. That's why this Buddhist understanding of cultivation is very, very complete, and the extent to which it can develop is something like you can reach the highest possible human ideal or living beings ideal. Okay, we go back to the notes. So I read on. We vow to become Buddhas. Not only will we become Buddhas, we also vow to lead or take across all living beings to realize Buddhahood together. So this one is like a very heavy task. Like it's going to take very long. Even to develop Sammasambuddhahood alone is already so long. And you vow to take across all living beings. Also, to make them realize Sammasambuddhahood together. It's a very, very, I should say, near to impossible task. But don't take it like, you call it what? Don't take the meaning literally. Actually, what the vow, the 4 basic vows of the Bodhisattva is all about, is these basic vows are prepared in such a way so that it can complement you in the cultivation to realize this perfection of Samma Sambuddhahood. It's not to like go and analyze the 4 basic vows and come out with all the excuses. This is madness. This is something impossible. So it's just like some of the vows of the great beings, like our Earth Star Bodhisattva, Tisangwang Puja. He got one very unique vow. Not until the hell is empty of hell beings, he vowed not to realize the highest enlightenment, perfection of Buddhahood, is to like purposely stay in the world longer so that he can do this work. But people don't understand. People say, it is madness. How can the hell be empty of hell beings? But you read the Bodhisattva, the Earth Star Bodhisattva's life, biography, and the vow behind it. Actually, you look at it, he has a very good understanding. That's why he wants to do the work. He said, if he don't do the work, nobody will have this type of hell beings in there. Then he also have a very unique quality which I really rejoiced when I heard it. I cannot recall what it is, but when I read it, I knew. It was beautiful. So there are a lot of other, what they call, great beings, whose vows are also equally heavy and deep. Then for this particular case, that's why I say don't take the meaning of the 4 basic vows literally. Develop the understanding of it. It is to assist the Bodhisattva going along this way to develop the possibility of that cultivation and perfection. Take for example the first vow. They vow to take across the limitless being of the 3 period of time to the other shore. So this one is actually out of love and compassion. But they also know that there is no being. He know you, he know me. But to come back to the existential world, our conditioned world, to continue this cultivation as a Bodhisattva, you need to have this vow. Because you need a consciousness, a mind to come back. But this mind must not have delusion. Because the normal Puthujjana, not enlightened being, before you become Arahant, they still die with ignorance. That's why they will have rebirth consciousness, following the law of karma. But the Bodhisattva, when they already realize Arahantaship and beyond, they don't have avijja actually. Upon death, no more ignorance. So technically, rebirth through ignorance, born of avijja, not possible. But when you take this vow, which is out of love and compassion, you do this work, then it becomes possible. Where this is a pure mind. Love and compassion is a pure thought. And you have your karmic nature still there. That's why you need this pure thought, which is a consciousness, and you can call it rebirth consciousness without avijja. But because of the vow, it can take effect. Then it can bring about the possibility of you, not really a being, coming back as a segmented form in mind to continue this cultivation and to do this work. So that part is very useful, very important, and most people don't understand. Okay, now I read on. The 4 vast vows are truly magnificent. This statement is very true. That's why the Bodhisattva vows, they are very heavy, very vast. And they are truly magnificent. Like the first vow, this nature of mind vow to save the limitless living beings. And here they use a different one. They vow to save the living beings of their inherent nature. See, their inherent nature. That's why I teach you all in the yellow card format. This nature of mind. You remember? I always use that. Why? Because this one is each and every one of us. Although you don't have a permanent unchanging entity, understand? But there is a inherent nature within our Buddha nature, our unique oneness nature or whatever. So here they call it the inherent nature. So this nature of mind means not only this life, understand? Since the beginningless, the first thought of ignorance until now, all these are connected to your inherent nature. Where from there it arises, then it perfects itself, then it completes the perfection and return to realize that so-called inherent nature or the Buddha nature, or we call it the source, the beginning of all creation. So this inherent nature is also the original nature, is also the oneness nature. Or some, they call it the singularity, from there all things arise. The scientists use the word singularity. So this understanding is very important. That's why Hsuan, they use this word, I vow to cut off. The first one. I vow to save living beings of my inherent nature. Means all the beings that arise from this inherent nature. That's why that nature is not belonging to any specific being, where there is the whole oneness, the source of all things, the original nature. From there all things arise. So this one is a very unique word, inherent nature. Then the next one is, I vow to cut off the affliction of my inherent nature. You cannot just run around telling other people that they should cut off their affliction. You cannot walk up to someone and say, you are studying the Buddha Dharma, yet you still have so many afflictions. You still have a terrible temper. This is Hsuan. Just what meaning does all your study have? You are not supposed to be looking at others' fault. You are supposed to wash out over your own self or your own fault. But people who study the Buddha Dharma are supposed to take care of themselves and not mind other people's business. There is a saying, others' wrong, others' obsession are their bad karma and their own transgression. So this one is a commonly spoken statement. That's why each and every being, they are born of their karma, heir to their karma, conditioned and supported by their karma, and they are what they are because of their karma. After all, ultimate understanding is, he know you, he know me. Understand? That's why when it comes to existence, although we arise as a segmented form of mind within this existential world, and within this existential world, it has its own set of conditioned Dhamma, which recognizes relationship, which recognizes the law of karma, and a lot of other things within the conditioned world. That's why we have the Pancha Niyama, everything. We have the Four Noble Truths, we have suffering, cause of arising, cessation, and the path that leads to cessation, and all the manifestation within the conditioned world. But this is the conditioned world, understand? Then, when we don't understand, we cling to the Atta, and because of that, we develop what we call Sakaya Ditti, self-delusion, then we get ourselves entangled and develop all the unnecessary suffering. That's why when you realize the Dhamma, the truth, suffering need not be, and life become different. Then he know you, he know me. When you realize the penetrative Dhamma, the true emptiness, then you realize he know you, he know me. Then when it comes to living life, it's just like the fifth patriarch told the sixth patriarch. He said, this mind, this mundane mind, the mano, you must know how to use it and yet not deluded by it. The meaning is, when you take birth in the existential world, don't be foolish. Sometimes you become so deluded that you attach and cling to so many things, especially your loved ones, your possession and all those things, all things that you hold on to dearly. They are not really what you think. Like the Buddha say, even you yourself, this form and mind does not belong to you. Then how can this entity own things? He said, my son, my wealth, my property, my whatever belonging. This only the fools, foolish one, lament, he said. For that very body also does belong to him. Then wherein son, wherein wealth, wherein property, etc. No reality. Everything is dependent, originating, condition, arising, cause of phenomena. Not a permanent, unchanging entity. That's why when you understand all this, then whatever happens in life, just understand they have their karma. Understand that? So, whatever that arises, like the Buddha said, there are causes and conditions behind. And the likely causes and conditions is the law of karma. But they are born of their karma, heir to their karma, conditions supported by karma. And they are what they are because of their karma. So don't lament over whatever your loved one want to do or whatever. But their life, let them live, let them decide. It's just like when people control your life, you don't like it. That's why I respect them for what they are. But do not be deluded by that. But that one is only one aspect of the understanding. The deeper aspect of the understanding is, as a segmental form of mind when you come, this form of mind is subject to karma. And because of that, you have to do your right duty, understand, towards the law of karma. You cannot simply do things. So your duty is your understanding, your virtue. If you do your duty, means whatever you need to teach them, train them like your loved one, your children or what, you do your part, understand? Whether they listen, they follow or not, nothing to do with you, understand? Just tell them, your life, you decide. Because whatever you decide, that decision is yours, ultimately. If you make unwise decision, you end up foolish, you end up suffering, miserable. You cannot blame anybody. Where you are born of your own deeds, action, speech and thought process. Without Dhamma, without understanding, living beings suffer. And that understanding is very important. And that can allow living beings to avoid a lot of unnecessary, like, karmic entanglement. So that you don't end up developing all the hate, the anger, the suffering, the misery. Initially, of course, you pamper them with a lot of love and all those things. Then as they grow up, they do funny things. Then you get angry and you become miserable. How can this guy do all this? I care for him, I provided him or her all this, and he did that to me. Relationship also same. Not what you think, where you cannot see the past. In the past, you have been doing all this. That's why the law of karma is, you reap what you sow. You plant the seed of evil, you reap the fruit of evil. You plant the seed of wholesomeness, you reap the fruit of wholesomeness. Whatever you give, you receive back. Goodness begets goodness. Evil begets evil. So all this is the law of karma, nature's law. If you have this understanding, then you can be free from the unnecessary conflict and misunderstanding that actually harm the living beings, especially human beings. You can avoid all the unnecessary conflict, misunderstanding, suffering, the envy, the jealousy, the hatred, and all those things. So all this demands deep penetrative understanding of the Dhamma cultivation. That's why this teaching is very unique, and it's worth all your what they call sacrifice to develop it, to cultivate it. Okay, I read on. Therefore, do not buy stock in someone else unwholesome company and become a shareholder. This is Shenhua's way of putting it. If you know they are not making money, then why do you still want to take a loss? Why insist on doing business in the red? If you see other people getting afflicted, you should stop and think, oh, affliction is really no good. I should severe it. Do not inspect other people's clothes and say, hey, your clothes are stained and dirty, without realizing that your own clothes are even dirtier. Do not wash them. Don't wash others' clothes for them, and forget about washing your own. These are not important. The vows goes. Buddhahood is unsurpassed. I vow to realize it. You should all clean your own mind and heart. Sweep out all those deluded thoughts. Don't allow them to raise back and fall in your mind. So this one, like I always share with you, they can come back through the back door without you realizing it. Because you use your thought to analyze and try to reason. That's why silence, develop the inner awareness. Then stabilize it. Use that to develop the wisdom, to insight into phenomena, to awaken, to actually see things as they are, to develop the understanding. Okay, I read on. What is a deluded thought? Thought about anything that you dislike. A deluded thought of affliction. Thoughts about what you like, a deluded thought of happiness. All your thoughts are deluded thoughts. You are either liking something or disliking something. Liking is deluded thinking, and so is disliking. What is to be done? This one is Shenhua's way. Just let it go. If you let it go, then there won't be any more liking and disliking. And you go and try. You cannot. You must develop the wisdom. That is the ultimate truth, or the middle way. You will no longer give rise to affliction or have any worry. So this one maybe I explain to you one more time on what I always share with you all. You see, like and dislike are actually the first two mental hindrances of sensual desire and ill will. Your pleasant sense experience and unpleasant sense experience. So whatever sense experience that you like, you develop the indulgence of it, sensual indulgence. Then whatever you don't like, you develop it into a negative craving. It's like envy, jealousy, hatred, resentment, and all these things. So when it comes to the thought, whatever that actually brings about suffering is a wrong thought or deluded thought. that is easier to develop and understand. And the other way is to develop the understanding of the Dhamma behind it. What constitutes evil? The three evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion, which is lobha, dosa, and moha. So when you understand these three and you go deep into it, like the essential Dhamma that I have taught you, then wherever you can detect the evil roots, that's why all your selfish thought, greed, all your envy, jealousy, hatred, negative craving, they are all wrong thought. Even your possessiveness, your strong craving, and even the other, what they call the last evil roots of moha, self-delusion. When you have fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow, and lamentation, all these are the evil roots of sakkayaditthi or self-delusion. They call it moha. But beginner or new cultivator of the way or practitioner of the Dhamma, this way is more difficult because you have to do a thorough study of the three evil roots, and by the time you do that, I think you already wasted a lot of your time. So for me, I simplify it. Whenever you are not happy and not peaceful, the wrong thought is there. Understand? The evil root is there. Whatever that make you unhappy or not peaceful, the wrong thought is there. That is easier. Because in life, you can feel it inside. Like in the retreat, we use the word bosong. Bosong means, in Hokkien, you are not happy about the situation. So this type of thing, it make you unhappy. Understand? Bosong, unhappy. Then that thing create agitation, restlessness, lack of peace. So that statement, whenever you are unhappy and not peaceful, the evil roots are there, the wrong thought. And that is an easier way to practice. And what are really wrong thoughts? Wrong thoughts are thoughts that condition your fear, your worry, your anxiety, your sorrow, your lamentation, your suffering, your misery. So whenever you have problem, you develop mental suffering or stress, then that wrong thought is already very severe. Understand? It not only make you unhappy and not peaceful, it causes you tremendous suffering already. And most people didn't realize that these are wrong thoughts. And in the normal teaching, what they have taught you is the four Brahma Vihara, is it? Metta, loving kindness, Karuna, compassion, then Mudita is sympathetic joy, then equanimity. You have these four mind state, the four Brahma Vihara mind state, then you have right thought. To me, that is like not enough teaching. You teach people all this theory is not going to help them because you expect them to what? Do metta throughout the day, read metta, do metta, develop loving kindness and all that. But in real life, your senses are active. If your view is not taken care of, you don't have the right Dhamma understanding, then you cannot live life, understand? At every moment of sense experience, without the Dhamma understanding, the yoniso manasikara, or wisdom at the moment of sense contact or sense experience, what happens is the mind will stir and react to sense experience. Through what? Your like and dislike, pleasant and unpleasant sense experience. And these are evil roots. Mainly greed and hatred, born of delusion. Without delusion, there is no selfishness, no greed, no anger, no hatred. The personality does not arise. So this way of understanding actually helps in the cultivation, and you learn faster. You develop better understanding. Yeah. So forget about what Shen Huang mentioned just now. Huh? That one is his version. Okay, we go back to the notes. You won't go insane and run off to a club to do dancing. That's an insane happiness. This one I think we can skip. Then I go to the last statement. Sorry. In this way, you will have fulfilled the vow. Sorry, there is a paragraph before. If every day you are calm and steady, holding on to the middle way, the day will come when you become awakened. But he never teach you how to develop the awakening. Awaken, you can become a Buddha. So in this way, you would have fulfilled the vows. Buddhahood is unsurpassed. I vow to realize it. And not so simple. That one, you need cultivation, you need then perfection. Then, based on what I have taught you, then when you are able to recognize the moment you are unhappy and not peaceful, the evil roots are there, you trace the origination factor. Means how this evil root arise. Means due to your wrong view. Then you must learn how to straighten your view. To learn to see things as they are. So that you can be at peace with all situations like I have taught you before. The world is the world, condition like that, things be like that, it cannot be otherwise. You have to come to terms with that reality, be at peace, have a clear mind. Then you act. Then you inquire what actually happened. How can I resolve all this amicably? And that is the Dhamma way. Yeah. Then people are just the way they are. Their understanding is very important. Deluded people do deluded things. Selfish people do selfish things. Violent people, angry people do angry things, violent things. They are just the way they are. So when you can accept them for what they are, you don't blame them. You don't create unhappy emotion. Yeah. Then you will not be drawn into all this that manifests within the conditioned world. And then you can be at peace. Yeah. Then you can develop your own wisdom. Thing is just the way it is. Condition like that, things will be like that. The world is the world. People are just the way they are. Then immediately you find yourself becoming more and more peaceful. You are not like before, reacting to what people do to you, reacting to what happened in the world. If you do that, there are a lot of things to become miserable. The whole social media, nowadays worse than newspaper. At least newspaper, you read one or two headlines. One day, that newspaper maybe. Even if you buy 5-10 newspaper, it took you a long time to read. Nowadays, social media, every moment you receive news. Every moment also you cannot come to terms with the reality. Why this guy like that? Why they all like that? Then like some of my classmates, WhatsApp, they say, what is happening to the world? Suddenly Australia, Bondi Beach, just shoot like that. Then recently, the London incident you all read about it, the farmer brought the tractor and jammed out all the major highway of London because they were not happy with the government's decision. It seems they thought this landowner or farmer are very rich because their land value went up. But the reality, when they check, most of these farmers work very hard. They earn less than 30,000 pounds a year, and they go and levy that new tax on their whatever land or whatever, as if they have a lot of money to pay the government. Because the budget deficit that actually snowballed to what it is was caused by a lot of negligence by various politicians, government and all those things. Then now they got no way to balance the budget. They say they have to take money from somewhere, and they don't want to take from the rich and wealthy. They take from the farmer. That's why that incident was quite bad. And there are many things that happen in the world. So if everything also you want to comment and create the like and dislike and the emotion, then your life is forever not peaceful. Of course, living beings, they like to gossip. But that's the way life is, existence is. So sometimes when you are among people who discuss things, I mean, it's okay if they bring up the thing, but don't become emotional. Understand? Don't become like completely lost in that until it overwhelms you. That is deluded, real delusion. And when you have the understanding, you can laugh about it. Sometimes you can even like discuss it or talk about it. But you know, these are the realities of life and existence. And this always manifests. Then when you have the Dhamma, in reality, it's just like a passing show, understand? Everything is dependent, originating, condition, arising, cause of phenomenon. It's a phenomenal world of consciousness and form, no reality. He know you, he know me. But there is such thing as life, existence. At that part, you must know how to live it. And when you can live life, that is the most beautiful aspect of understanding. That's why you truly live. Living life doesn't mean to isolate yourself. No, you need not isolate yourself. You can be in the midst of sound, and yet within your heart is still silent. And in the midst of activity, there can be stillness. Your mind is very still, tranquil. So all this understanding can arise when you have the Dhamma understanding. That's why without this understanding of the teaching, it's not easy to cope with life. It's not easy to develop the understanding of life. Okay, we have to go back. We have to end already. Already 9:46. Okay, I read the last part. Oh, we actually finished there. Okay, so we end here. The 4 vast vows are very important. They are represented in the text by the phrase with golden cord. This one is about a cord strung around them. The 4 vast vows, or the basic vow of the Bodhisattva, are like cords of gold braided together. You have to be vigorous. Don't ever forget this vow. As a Bodhisattva, that's why you renew your basic vow. Then always base your cultivation upon the 4 vast basic vow. Because this vow actually helps you to develop the understanding, to realize the perfection. Without these 4 basic vows, the Bodhisattva way cannot be developed. Okay, we end here. We mark that page. After that, so yeah. Okay. Song just confirmed he already finished sharing. So we pass it to Alicia. Yeah.
Good evening, Brother Tew, Mrs. Tew, and all Karamita. Brother Tew, 我想要学这个文殊菩萨的法门。
那个很好。
对，
首
先感恩 Brother Tew 带我们去五台山的那个 trip。Just to 讲一点点，因为for Waifan and Chan they were not there. So actually, 我的 affinity with Manjushri Bodhisattva started from 我们在最后一节那个崇善寺，which 我不懂为什么我很想去，但是 Mr. 二讲 not in the itinerary，don't even open your mouth。OK， 是没有去的，本来是没有去，但最后我也不懂为什么，最后我们还是去了。但是去了，我们并没有进到去看到他的那个鲁邦，但是我在那边就。好像有一个 connection with 他这样子哈。So after that, in the bus, as I mean 我回来，我 report 给 Brother 听，我的 heart 那边 open up 哈。So 这个是一个 affinity， 然后就因为Mrs. Teo 跟 Brother Teo 去请了文殊菩萨回来这里，所以他的 energy 很
very strong，
真的。
Well, mainly wisdom energy. The wisdom energy, you know how to tap. You have the understanding and the cultivation. They are really very, very magnificent and very strong. And it can help the cultivator to progress very fast. That's why for her case, because of the affinity, it helped her. Continue.
感恩 Brother Mrs. Teo 把文殊菩萨请回来。然后就是 last Tuesday， 当我们做完那个 Puja offering 的时候，然后我们就回来这里要 start chanting， 然后我就开不到声了，我就不能开声了，然后我就静静在那边。然后他的 mantra 那个五字的那个 mantra 就出来了，然后我就哇，很 strong 我有点驾驭不到，就是很 strong 他的 energy， 然后我就 OK， 我就有点然后我就有点走上走下，有一点 like no 不懂怎样的去relax， 但是不能 all the time
对 because sometimes initially when it comes it's too strong。It's too strong, 很强啊。But never mind, you just rejoice silent, then relax into it and allow it to develop the movement. It's like the fourth support, trust. Let it just develop the movement for you. Then over time, it will gradually slow down. Then when you already have the ability to absorb it and draw it more and more, then you find it very soothing.Then during that time, you will become very different. By then, you will have transformed another phase, another evolution of understanding will unfold and manifest.
Brother， 然后我回到去，然后 Wednesday 我就觉得哇。怎么这样子？然后那个 mantra 就一直在，然后就念头 mantra 这样子，就 most of the time 就是你要做东西一个念头，然后你就回去你的 mantra 那边，就他就一直 stay 在那个 mantra 里面哦。Then after that Thursday almost after class 的时候，我就想把那个 experience 写下来。然后忽然间我明白到这个 cultivation of 这个 mantra， 只要你 stay 在那个 mantra 那边，你是不会在那个 thought 里面的。对，一直 stay 在那边。
When you are aware, you cannot be lost in thought. That's why the awareness is very important. You can only do one thing at a time. Always remember that as a cultivator, as a living being. Either you are aware and with the moment, with the mantra or whatever, then you become like aware that nature, the clarity, the awareness shine forth. And that is your true mind, your true nature within, your inherent nature. But if you are lost in thought, means the awareness is gone, preoccupied with what you are thinking. That's why she realized when she is with the mantra, she cannot be heedless, lost in thought, thinking, cannot. Very good understanding.
Yeah. Then after that, 然后我就忽然间会去reflect 那个就是这个到底这个文殊菩萨要给我怎样的加持或者怎样的让我 understand 这个东西。然后等到我第二天早上醒来的时候，就是你又好像在睡觉，但是你又很像重新那边 aware 到，你明白到其实那 contemplation 其实是本来是说到底谁在念佛 ，Brother？ 谁对啊？谁在念佛？他跑出来就是个。然后我就 Brother 不是有在 Appendix 3有讲到，就是那个念佛念到没有人在念的时候，就是 awareness 在那边 aware。
No one is chanting. The awareness and the vibration is one. That's why you will come to realize that nature is not a being. Completely nothing inside there. That's why I always say, you are nothing. That word nothing is real. But that nature is completely not a thing. It's just a nature. Like your karmic nature, your spiritual nature. Then that one is your oneness nature. Your inherent nature, your pure awareness nature. It's not a being, it's not a permanent, unchanging entity. That's why I remember that time when I was in that state. I tried to find out. Nothing inside there. Completely not a thing. Then I realized, all this so-called manifestation, like the mano, the thought, the thinking, the conscious moment, when people live life, then I realized, all these are dependent originating mind state. They are not your true mind. Then when the chanting arises, it's not you chanting yourself. It manifests because of the affinity. Then like that time I remember the Amitabha chanting for how it manifests. Then my awareness is with it. Then I realized, no one is chanting. There is no being inside there. But that vibration and the awareness is one. That's why I always say it's like xiang yin. In perfect synchrony, understand? The awareness and the phenomena is one. That's why specific phenomenal awareness or spacious awareness without a center. That's why I have to coin my own word to explain to you what that nature is. That nature can be aware, but of what? Specific phenomena, yes. Like whatever move, whatever that can be perceived through the senses, the awareness is there. That's it. It's not a being. That's why the Buddha said, in the seeing is only that consciousness. Like that day, the lunch time, I think, on the way back, I think Yuen Chan Raymond, actually Yuen Chan created a very good situation for the Dhamma to flow. Then I think Eng Bi benefited a lot. Yuen Chan was asking me some Dhamma question. Then we delve into the awareness. Because when you have the understanding already, and now I recall, I think Yuen Chan was talking about a new book on awareness written by one of the monks, I forgot who already. I think one of the Theravada monks. He said, Bethel, his teaching is very similar to yours, he said. Then he described a bit. Then I explained, but the understanding is very different. Because this, he talked about the observer and the observed. There is no observer. The observed actually is the conscious mano, understand? So the so-called observer, which is also the awareness, and the observed is the same thing, understand? Because the awareness, which is aware, is the same thing. That's why that mano that created the sakkayaditi, self-delusion of somebody observing something, is a delusion. Because there is no observer. It's like the thought that manifests. There is no thinker behind the thought. But by logic, where you are so conditioned in it, how can the thought got no thinker? There must be a thinker behind the thought. But then when you really meditate and silent, then you realize without the memory, there is no thought. That's all. Then you realize thought is actually manifested from that memory. That's why Krishnamurti is very good. Thought is respond to memory. No memory, no thought. That's a newborn baby cannot think. Understand? They got no concept, no memory, nothing accumulated. That's why they cannot even arise a thought. Cannot. Yeah. But they can arise consciousness, which is the pure. Like the Buddha said, in the seeing, it's only the seeing consciousness, like the physics experiment. The light bulb light up. The lighting up is like that being developed the conscious moment. But not somebody conscious of that seeing, understand? It is that consciousness that arises, nothing else. Like the physics experiment, the light bulb just light up. The lighting up is like, that is consciousness. It gives rise to that consciousness. In the seeing, it's only that seeing consciousness, no one to see. Hearing, that hearing consciousness, no one to hear. And to realize that you need sati, you need awareness. You need to be completely silent. Then you realize, really no being. It's just the causes and conditions that manifest and trigger of that consciousness. Then when you understand that in the seeing or in what is perceived is only that consciousness, there is no one behind. Then the sakkayaditthi get rooted out. Then if there is no one to see, then how can we deludedly associate with the senses? I see, therefore I am. Therefore it can condition you into like and dislike. There is a delusion, sakkayaditthi. It's just a consciousness that manifests. But you deludedly, through your views, opinion, conditioning and belief system, you input the wrong content. That's why it triggers the wrong thought. That condition your mind to stir and create the emotion. That's why all these emotions are like and dislike. Whatever emotion that arise, even fear, anger or whatever, they are dependent originating mind state. They are not intrinsic within your nature. Then I realize that nature don't have any of this. All this manifests through the views, opinion, conditioning, accumulated memories. Then the whole understanding like unfold. That's why I start to understand deeply why Krishnamurti say acting according to memory is not acting at all. There is rubbish inside that. Well, what is memory? Everything that you accumulate in your experiences, good and bad, including your phobia, your insecurity, your selfishness, your craving, your desire, your whatever evils, they are all there. Yeah. Of course, there are also wholesome thoughts, but they are part and parcel of the three evils. So if you act according to that, it's like you are creating your own karmic manifestation. That's why acting according to memory is not acting at all. Then how should we act? Yeah? How should we act? We should act with what? Wisdom, understanding, understand or not? That's why you need to develop the Dhamma wisdom, yoniso manasikara. Wisdom at the moment of sense experience, the first turning wisdom through hearing, second turning wisdom through contemplation, reflection, to stabilize your understanding. Then the third turning, which is direct seeing through bhavana maya panya. Once all this understanding awaken, then it become yoniso manasikara. Wisdom stored in your nature. And this one will come out spontaneously to prompt you. at the moment of sense experience. That's why this yoniso manasikara is the wisdom at the moment of sense experience. And that is the only one that free you. And that is the only one that understand that there is no one inside. But with that understanding of the unconditioned, you know how to live life. You are not deceived by it. That is what the fifth patriarch meant when he told Huining. This mind, you see, the mundane mind, the no. You must know how to use it, but not be deluded by it or deceived by it, through wrong view, through lack of Dhamma understanding. Because they are not what you think. Yeah, continue, Alicia.
After 那个 contemplation， 第二天就是他在早上起来的时候，就是还没有正式醒到完，他就是那个 understanding 就是来这样子，知道他是真的是空性，空性的，没有自性的。所以在这以后，然后我就就是很感恩这个文殊菩萨给我的这个，所以我觉得这个法门是很最 simple 的。他的那个咒只有5个字，对，就是加买那个 Om 跟那个最后一个7个字罢了。然后他就让我明白，然后就好像怎么样说，忽然间跟他相应，连他的那个咒的meaning都好像我都已经明白掉。哇，萨度萨度。So 就是他的咒的第一个meaning就是说，我们要菩提，就是要菩提，就是要有那个发菩提心。然后第二个他的meaning就是说，我们要不舍众生。对对。就是走菩萨道难行，一定要能行。然后第三个意思就是他的第胜义谛，就是那个 truth 的，没有人可以篡改的，就是他的实相那个涅槃的实相。然后还有一个就是我们就是要妙行那个菩萨行。最后一个是他跟我们说，这个是没有一个自性的，所谓的这个 moment mind 是没有自性的。我们的自性只要回到我们的 nature 才能够realize 那个所谓的真实的，永远不生不灭的那个。所以我很感谢，我很感谢素英跟阿边也有剧情，我忽然间想到，所以这个就是这个非常的 amazing 啊，对我来讲，因为我很多的法喜，因为我觉得这个法门很容易，真的很容易。你只要 recite 他的 mantra 罢了，然后你就跟他相应，要有 faith， 对，你就跟他相应后，然后他就，我也起初也是我有一个想法，到底那个 mantra 怎么样 lead 我去 understand？ 因为他讲你 recite 他的 mantra， 他就会给你开智慧啊，会给你很好的记性啊。因为那个是他的愿力，对，他的 vow， 对 ，it will manifest on and why she can do it now is because she already connect to the nature. And when you connect to the nature, this mantra come when you are in the awareness state that can know how to develop it, that it will continue. That's why it's very strong. Continue to open this one. As it open, actually it unfold the understanding already without her knowing it. But after that, all the meaning come out now. All the words that he come across, it become very clear. That is what cultivation is all about. Before you connect, you cannot understand one. Like last night's song, cannot understand one. But after that, he read through that appendix. Everything like become different now, so clear. Well, these are the teaching that come from the nature, straight from the heart. If you have not realized the awareness nature and developed that understanding, you cannot penetrate this style of teaching. That's why this is a very good sharing, so that it can help other Kayamita to develop the faith and the understanding. Then just develop it. Like you say, it's very simple, actually. And why in the teaching is mentioned that mantra can help you in your cultivation, can bring forth the it's because it manifests and happens in this way.
That's why living being cannot understand. It's not to say that he can give the wisdom to you. Cannot. Even the Buddha also cannot give it to you. But he can only show you the way. You must develop the spiritual faculty, the faith. Then diligently work towards it. Develop the virya, sada virya. Then develop the sati, stabilize it into samadhi. Then see things as they are. Then let it connect to the nature and let it develop the movement. Then it will transform you. Then you will develop all the understanding. Of course, initially, when the first time you connect, your past will come back to you first. Then after that, all the other great beings that you have affinity, when causes and conditions manifest, it will help you to connect and link. And you will know where to go on, time to go, where to go. And when you are there, you will know what to do. That's why it's very amazing, wonderful, like 不可思议. Like you cannot fathom and understand all this one. But that is the way nature is. That is the way Dhamma is. That is the way cultivation is. Unless you have been through, you have met teachers that have the understanding and the experience, then they can explain to you, they can share with you. Otherwise, you go through, she will also finally understand, but it takes a while to stabilize, to digest. Then if there is no proper teacher or guide, then she on her own will also learn, but take time. That's why with all this sharing, it helps actually. And among Kayamita, you all learn from everybody's experience. It's like you are already cultivating like a bodhisattva, understand? Because all the bodhisattvas, they go through very extensive cultivation. Like every segment, my nature come, I develop the understanding. And this slide also say, because of my understanding, I can share all this with you all. But if you have not met somebody like me or like my nature, they cannot explain to you. They can only share with you what they understand. And most of these so-called teachers, with due respect, they are mostly thought-based cultivation. Of course, some have awareness-based, but not much. And to penetrate to this level is not easy. And this is the Bodhisattva way. And the Bodhisattva way, to meet real great being is not easy. Great being that manifests as a form of mind, understand now? As a segmented form of mind that arises is not easy. But they really arise and exist within the human mind. Like Kuan Yin Pusa. They have touched the heart of many cultivators and living beings. And they manifest and come in different forms. But to see the real Pusa is not easy. And most people, when they see, they also cannot recognize. Well, they don't know. It's just like most people. You may not know my nature. And last time I used to hint to a lot of Kanyamita. By the time they know what this nature is, they will have a shock of their life. Just ordinary living being, understand? No different from any human being, understand? But you can never know their cultivation, their past, their understanding. So all this, when you encounter, you will know. Because like I said, if you are not in this line, not doing all this cultivation in this spiritual field, actually it's very difficult for you to encounter even an Arya, not to say a great being. And even you encounter, you also cannot recognize. Then it's like, most of the time, people you meet are those your own kind one. That's the foolish one, the heedless one, the deluded one, the worldly one. And hardly you meet spiritual practitioner or cultivator. Even to have real Kayamita like ours is very rare, I tell you. So all this is part and parcel of society, of existence. That's why the opening statement of the sutta, to encounter the true teaching, sometimes it may take 500 million eons or whatever. It can be as long as that. There is no exaggeration, because when you are lost during non-sasana, you can be lost for very long, very, very long. Then you have to wait till the condition manifests, sasana, to come back. Even if you have the past. That's why a lot of bodhisattvas, after a while, they get lost during non-sasana. That's why these 4 basic vows and the yellow format that I develop and share with you all is what Maitreya Buddha's nature want my nature to share. Where this is a very unique way to actually develop the understanding and establish everything firmly this life, where the sasana, I call it the golden window, is still there. Then once this is established, all your future coming, life after life, you don't need to worry. The bodhi mind that is planted with the understanding and the faith will activate by itself or manifest. Then whenever you arise, all this understanding that you want to have, they will manifest. And with this understanding, your chances of deviating is very rare, very, very like near to impossible. That's why it is one of the very basic important reasons why Maitreya 208 came with the message. He said, 请你把正法传下去. He repeated 5 times with the laughter at the back, all golden word. Every word he recite, the golden writing come out. I actually explained it in this book. You can read this book, it's somewhere inside at the end there. And the way it manifests was so beautiful, and my nature knew. That's why I was full of joy, full of what we call fast-easing. Then I said, you are the Samasa Buddha. You don't have to be so courteous. And the more courteous is called what here? 客气啊. Use the word 请你哦, means please, like 请你把正法传下. I say you instruct, I will do already. No need to be so courteous. Then immediately deep inside, I knew what that 正法 is. 2 parts. One is the traditional provisional Dhamma, the basic essential teaching which I have taught under the Heart Sutta. Then the other one is the Bodhisattva way, where I knew at that time, after 89, my understanding and my way is very unique. And I can develop it so that it can speed up the cultivation of Bodhisattva very fast. That's why when the time comes, it manifests, then I was able to write out the thing in the yellow card, 4 pages. Then I actually gave it to Pamasuri, and he said, oh, but I can put it into a card with all the 4 pages forward at the center. 2 in front, 2 at the back. And it come out so nicely. Then together with this book, Cultivating the Bodhisattva Way, based on my 4 set of sharing, 2 hour plus sharing, it become a book, a complete cultivation manual that you need. That's why all this meant to be. Then it manifests, it happens. Okay, you continue. Very good. How your 10 minutes? Yeah.
Actually, Brattu, on Thursday class 的时候，我也在想着，因为我读很多书，它都是Manjusri Bodhisattva 在向佛陀请法。
对。
然后我就有一个想法说，我到底怎么样可以跟众生请法，就像不然就请法。然后我在我的 meditation 里面，因为就是我发觉到，我不知道有很多人就是很难的去做这个 awareness base。
对。
然后我就把我自己当做我什么都不懂，然后我就 start from basic。做 anapanasati，做那个 meditation，去 experience 这个过程。然后他给我的就是 understanding 很 clear 的，就是从 anapanasati 你可以 aware of 你的 breathing， 然后aware，then 你会 aware 到either 你的很粗很细，很快很慢还是怎样，你还可以 aware 到很多东西。然后他就去到那个 extent， 就是好像我比如说我啦我可以去到我的身体整个好像会膨胀啊，还是会去到很远。但是你如果你有那个 awareness 哦，它会 automatic 回去你的 anapanasati， 它会直接回来这个 anapanasati， 所以。我发觉到这个就是这个过程里面，其实 anapanasati 是最安全的一个所谓的 meditation。
There is a neutral object of meditation. It has got no craving, nothing, very neutral, and everybody has it. Well, if you don't have the breath, means you already no more breath. Means your life force end already. Otherwise, the breath will be there. So that object of meditation is the most conducive. Yes, that's what the Buddha also used, and that's what he actually taught in the Kayanupassana, the first category of practice, because that mindfulness of the in and out breath is very easy to do. And in 1975, when I first attended the lecture by the author of the book, our late chief, Kesri Dhammananda, I went back and decided to meditate for the first time in my life. And I told you all before, I went in, I thought it was a short period, but it was 4 hours. And that time, my anapanasati just come by itself, and I just know what to do. Then I thought, wow, that was meditation. That's why everything unfolds. And this anapanasati is very basic training of awareness. You can be aware of your breath. You can be aware of all your kaya activity. Then your movement, your whatever life activity. That's why the Buddha said, from anapanasati you can be aware of your 4 Puja. Then sati sampajana means every action, every movement connecting the 4 Puja. And what he described is very good. Standing aware, looking forward also aware, bending, turning, stretching, answering nature's call, whatever you do, aware. That's why that daily mindfulness is very important. You can do that, you progress very fast. Then you can see a lot of things that you never see before, your mental intention, whatever. It's very clear on. Then it can prompt you on. Very good.
就在我的 meditation 里面，我可以 aware 到那个 breathing， then after that 一个念头上来，然后它就没有了，然后 then 就静，然后过了一阵子，它又一个念头上来，但是我们其实都不用做任何东西，
什么都不用做，
就是在那边 aware 它就这样子。
That's why the silent witnessing is key to awareness-based meditation. If you witness everything from the awareness nature, that is the silent mind meditating already. It's sitting as they are. All the manifestation, all the arising and passing away. Then you start to understand how you function as a human being. How you become emotional. How fear arises. How insecurity arises. How phobia arises. How the emotion arises. Then when you meditate, how you develop tranquility, stillness. That's how when something manifests, you silent and be with it, it ceases. And when it ceases, it always returns to your true mind, the silent mind before the story. Then you realize you have two minds. Then you know how to break free, to actually develop the wisdom and the understanding, not to be deceived by the phenomenal world created by the mundane mano. That's why the Buddha finally realized, he said, that mind, mano, the mundane mind, is the forerunner of all things. And when that arises, all things arise, all creation arise. That's why the four circle formation or my nature realized, then I develop the understanding, that I share with you all. And all this, I didn't learn from any book, I can tell you. No book, nothing. It's from the past. And after 89, it connect, all this understanding come back. Okay, yeah. 还有2 minutes
要不然就还有一点点就是为这个文殊菩萨的 guide 他让我很早就起来做 meditation。
Very good.
很早，有时候5点多，有时6点， 我就随便就
自己会醒的。
对，就坐在那边一下子，等一下我看时钟，40分钟啊，这么久了吗？然后就是他一直给我，就是在 stay 在那个 mantra 里面
对。
就很少的痛，对。
You just stay there.
对，所以当我明白他怎么样带我之后，我非常的法喜，而且我很想分享给卡罗米大家知道这个法门非常的简单，对 ，so 所以感恩大家，我也感恩佛菩萨，阿弥陀佛 ，Thank you.
Let us rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So this one that she described can give you faith and understanding. And it's actually very simple. But most important is to develop the faith and the affinity. Once the faith is there, you pay respect, then the affinity will develop. Then you try to read up a bit on the great beings' nature. Then the chanting, all those things. So that when it comes, you know from which great being and all those things. Okay, now we will end. Let us rejoice. Then we will share merit, transfer merit, and we will end. Akasata cha bhumata deva naga mahindika punyang tang anumoditva chirang rakantu lokasasana itta vata chamehi sampadan punya sampadan sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo devo asatu kalena sasa sampati hetu cha Vito bhavatu loko cha raja bhavatu dhammiko imina punyang kamena mami bhava samagamo sattang samagamo hotu yawa nivana patiya sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, y'all can now pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha, Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Then we end. Thank you. Sadhu.